Hello, good morning, and welcome to this short presentation. I hope you are all aware that during the post-internship examination, we usually use special answer sheets. And because this is a post-internship examination, I am sure most of you, if not everyone, has used this kind of answer sheet. So I just prepared a short video just to do a quick revision on how to use the answer sheet so that the marking exercise goes smoothly. So again, you know the gadgets that are required in order to appropriately use the answer sheets. You will need a pencil and an eraser. So in the past, we had also accepted using pen, but we had a lot of problems with people filling answer sheets using pen and then making mistakes. And then it was very difficult to try and help correct the mistakes that were made. So this time around, we totally discourage using pen. Everyone come with a sharpened pencil. Actually, the other thing you have to bring in is a sharpener, because if your pencil gets blunt, you would want to resharpen it. So how the answer sheet works. So we will have 2 exams for each specialty, as you already know. And these exams are taken at different time, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So for example, we have, for those doing MD exams, we have the medical exam and surgical exam. And then we have 2 exams for DDS and 2 exams for prosthetics and orthotics. So for each exam, there will be a special answer sheet. So for example, this one is the answer sheet for post-internship examination, DDS maxillofacial. So you will see this label on the top right corner of the answer sheet that will be given for this exam. And then we have another answer sheet for the other exam for DDS, which is post-internship DDS exam, restorative dentistry, and I think also orthodontics is included in this exam. So I think the first thing to check is to make sure that you have the appropriate answer sheet for that particular examination. And then, of course, everyone has the 9 digits exam ID. And of course, everyone will be taking exam at different centers: Dar es Salaam, Mbeya, Dodoma, and Mwanza, and Kilimanjaro. So these are the areas where we want you to fill this information. There will be a top left box where you have to fill the 9 digits exam ID, and then this center box, you have to fill your exam center. So if you are taking the exam in Dar es Salaam, you will have to fill Dar es Salaam there. So after filling your 9 digits exam ID in this top left box, you will have to move the same numbers into these boxes below, and each box will take 1 digit from the left to right, as I am going to show shortly. And again, we recommend to use pencil so that you are able to make changes in case you make mistakes. So how do you fill? So the first step would be to fill here the 9 digits number, and then the same numbers, you have to move them into each box corresponding to the numbers you have in your exam ID. And then you have to shade the corresponding cycles in vertical manner. So for example, if the exam ID starts with 4, the first cycle to fill should correspond to number 4. I will do a demonstration shortly. So this is how you have to fill the answer sheet so that your examination script or answer sheet is recognizable and identifies you as a candidate. So this is an example of a completely filled answer sheet. So the first thing is to write your 9 digits exam number. And then the next step is to write your examination center, and then move the 9 digits number into every boxes corresponding to your exam ID. And then the next step is to shade the corresponding cycle, going to the left direction. So for the right direction, sorry. So 4 would correspond with this box, and then 3 corresponding to this cycle. And then once you have completed, filled your answer sheet, next step is how to use the answer sheet to respond to questions. So you remember this funny question of reptiles and the options available, and for this question the answer was C, as a snake being a reptile. So you go to question number 1 and then look for the cycle that corresponds to option C, and you completely cycle or shade that corresponding cycle. So again, even after all these instructions, people still make mistakes, and I have 2 examples to show. You can see this candidate, his or her exam ID was 100153. So instead of like shading the corresponding cycles from left to right, he or she decided to cycle in a vertical way, which was completely wrong, because the app which we use to mark the exam would just read this number as number 0. It would choose any of these number, and that would not be a correct exam ID. So this candidate was supposed to shade number 1 and then 0, and then 0, 1, look for number 5 here, and then 3. So this was a wrong way of filling the answer sheet. The same applies to this one. So this 0 cycle, which was shaded here, is incorrect, because this number, which is number 1, should have corresponded to this one and not filling the 2 cycles. The same applies to this one. So this also was incorrectly filled. And again, while responding to questions, this is the acceptable way. You have to shade the cycle which correspond to your best chosen answer completely. No any other kind of mark or sign will be detected as correct. If you put a tick or a small shade inside the cycle, is not recognized as a correct response, and the app is going to mark all these kind of responding as incorrect, even if the response were correct. Yeah, so I think briefly that's it, because this is just a revision. I thought I should not take a lot of time to explain, but again, there will be invigilators in the examination room, so you should be able to ask questions and ask for help in case you have trouble. I also maybe just quickly to try and show in real time how we want you to fill your details on the exam sheet. So for example, we can take any number that has 9 numerals. So let's say that is 7, 6, 2, 3, 7, 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 9, 0, 1. So we assume this is someone's exam ID. Everyone's exam ID has 9 digits. So that would be the first step, how to fill the answer sheet. So the next step, let's say I'm taking the exam from Dodoma. So you write there Dodoma, and then you move the numbers that you have as your exam ID into this box, 7, 6, 2 376 901. Now the next step is to shade the corresponding cycles, and I try here to demonstrate how to shade. So number 7 would correspond to this cycle here. So you put a complete shade in that cycle. And then the next number is 6. So you also move from the right to the left direction. The next number would be 2. Okay, so I have to move this here. And then the next number is 3. You look for a cycle that is corresponding to 3. The next number is 7. You go all the way to this cycle. Next number is 6. So you shade the cycle corresponding to 6. The next number is 9. You shade this cycle. Oh, sorry, I just moved the so 9 would be this cycle. And then next number for this candidate is 0. And then the last one is 1. So this is how we would expect this candidate's exam ID and filling in the corresponding cycles to look like. This is very important because the mobile application that we use scans this area to pick your exam ID and correspond it with your responses and generate the score that you have scored in the examination. I hope this helps, and that's all from me. And yeah, I wish you all the best in your examination. Bye-bye.